Hello. It's time for our bolder predictions for the January Basho. Stop throw!
Hagaki-Yoi!
Throw the salt, get in the ring. Welcome to the Dohyo!
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Dohyo here on MrJWags channel. It is time for our predictions for the upcoming January Basho. But first, a sumo shout out. We have a glorious and unexpected sumo shout-out. As I mentioned on my year in review for 2022, Jason Harris of Jason's All-Sumo channel had announced he was going to be retiring from the channel. Well, today he announced on his channel he is staying in Japan for one more year. Thus, we are getting one more year of Jason's All-Sumo channel. Alright, I find this very exciting. Everyone in the English language sumo community should be excited about this. It's like Vin Scully saying, what the heck, one more year. We've got another year of Jason, so go check out Jason's All-Sumo channel if you have not already. Sumo shout out. Now it's time for a recurring segment, Hagaki-Yoi, where I answer questions from you, the people, questions about sumo, about life, about anything you would like to know. Today's Hagaki-Yoi comes from viewer Riley Porter, who asks, do you have a Showa-era rikishi you're a particular fan of? Now, of course, Japan, splits up time based on, sort of who the emperor is, so the Showa era actually lasted for a very long time, from, 1926 to 1989, which is almost as long as Cats ran. So, obviously, there are a lot of wrestlers to choose from. I think that the obvious choice is sort of like the Beatles choice, I guess, would be the Wolf, Terunofuji. Terunofuji had it all. First of all, he was just a specimen to look at, but that compared to the fact that he was so much smaller than so many other rikishi of his time. He was so small, and he was so confident, and he was so dominant. I love watching old matches of Terunofuji. Just in terms of size, I love watching old Konishiki matches, and that's at the very, very tail end of the Showa era, I know. Now, I guess my Velvet Underground sort of indie pick would be Yokozuna, Tama no Umi. Long-time viewers, of course, know we did a whole Tama no Umi episode. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's a good one. So, Riley, I am shouting you out. Thank you for such an amazing question. You will receive the MrJWags song of your choice. Whatever your favorite song from the Dohyo is, I will be sending it right to your inbox. And you, of course, will now get to hashtag Pick the Flannel. So respond to your original comment thread, comment on this video, or hit me up at MrJWagsChannel@gmail.com, and you will get everything that you deserve. Contest-wise. Alright, so everyone else, if you got any sumo questions, life questions, questions about anything at all, hit me up for next time for Hagaki-Yoi. Now, as I've been saying for the past few episodes, now that we are sort of in the post-Hakuho era, things are settling down a bit as opposed to the past 2 years. And by that I mean I think people are sort of reaching where their true talent level is, and we're not going to be seeing a lot of huge jumping surprises, at least for the first couple of Basho. So my first bold prediction, everyone in the Sanyaku, except one, will get a winning record. And the bolder prediction, I think the one Makekoshi will be Meisei. Now, Meisei has had a great string of Kachikoshis right up until the last tournament where he hit a bit of a wall, and by a wall I mean he went from 8 wins to 7 wins. Now, I think that is going to happen again this coming tournament. I think Meisei still has a lot of potential, but I don't think we're going to see Meisei leap out and get double-digit wins in the Sanyaku this tournament. I think there are a lot of guys who are at the lower part of the Joi who are still trying to prove themselves. Ura's up there for the first time. I'm guessing 6-7 wins for Meisei. And conversely, I think we are going to have a relatively stable Joi Jin this tournament. That's basically like Maegashira's 1 through 5. Now, the only double-digit loss performance I see coming from the top of the Maegashira ranks, unfortunately, will be veteran Okino Umi. I do not see this being a lucky tournament for him. The weather is cold. That always hurts my bones. So yeah, I would not be putting money on Okino Umi to be making any sort of special runs this January. And now for a very special sumo 3-way parlay. We're diving all the way down into the 3rd division of Makushita. Right now, the Makushita Joi is fascinating. It is full of a bunch of young up-and-comers. It is also full of a bunch of former Sekitori who are trying to work their way back up into the paid ranks. And also, a bunch of guys on, 26 to 28 year range who are looking to make Juryo for the first time. It's a very interesting time in the Makushita Bansuke. I believe these three guys are going to combine for 15 or more wins. And of course, in Makushita, you only have 7 matches, so that's a lot. Former Maegashiras Ryuden, Tomikaze, and new phenom from the Isagahama stable, Atami Fuji. Now, we have a few people sort of in the mid-Maegashira ranks that I really was hoping would be just ranked a little bit higher. Primarily, Abi. Now, Abi, as predicted, has done stunningly well in the past 2 tournaments, getting 25 total wins. He's now up at Maegashira 6, just below the Joy. And I think a sub-Joy Abi is still underranked. So my bold prediction, Abi will get 10 plus wins in this tournament, and in the last 5 days will get bumped up to face Sanyaku members. My bolder prediction, all the Maegashiras 6 and 7s will get Kachikoshi. I think all 4 of these guys are ranked a little too low, just outside the Joy, and they're going to do very well in the middle. Of course, this was Abi, as I've said, but also Hoshoryu and Takarafuji. I look forward to seeing all these guys get Kachikoshi in January. Now we have 2 wrestlers making their Makauchi debut. Wakamoto Haru, who of course is one of the older brothers of Waka Takakage, and Oho, the former Naya, grandson of former brilliant, amazing Hall of Fame Yokozuna Taiho. My bold prediction, both Wakamoto Haru and Oho get their Kachikoshi this tournament. Now my bolder prediction, unfortunately, is 3 of our favorites, who we've come to know for so many years in sumo, are all going to get Makekoshi. Tochinoshin, Aoyama, and Kaisei. Now, hopefully, we're talking 7 and 8s, and we won't be losing any of them to Juryo in the next tournament, but I'm pretty sure we're going to lose at least one of these 3 before the March tournament. Now it's time for the recurring segment, Which Way We Goin'? This is a recurring segment where I don't quite have a beat on which way a wrestler is going in their sort of career arc, up or down, and I think this tournament will tell us a lot about which way this wrestler is trending. Number 1, of course, Ura! We all know I love the man in the cherry blossom Mawashi. He's now up at Maegashira 2. He's never been this highly ranked. Are we going to start seeing a point where now in the literal top 10 of sumo, he starts hitting his ceiling, or does he have another gear? I'm not super optimistic that Ura has another gear left in his body, but then again, look at Terunofuji. These things happen and people come back and excel at sumo. I'm obviously hoping for Ura to get Kachikoshi this tournament, but this could be one of those things where he gets up here and needs another 6 or 7 win tournament to sort of adjust to the level before he can bloom and excel like he did last tournament with his 10 and 5. Ura's a fascinating Rikishi. I wouldn't bet on him to get 10 wins this tournament, but he's really hard to bet against. Next on the list, Chiyo Shoma. Now, Chiyo Shoma has sort of been around sumo since I've started watching it, and years and years ago, 2017, he was sort of up where he is now in the high Maegashira ranks. But ever since then, the perception of Chiyo Shoma in the larger sort of English language sumo community seems to be that he's a trickster. He's a henka guy. You can't really get a beat on him. He's a larger enho, I guess. But I have to say, in the last few tournaments, I've been seeing a much different Chiyo Shoma, much more serious, much more grounded Chiyo Shoma. Some of the nonsense sumo is still there, but for the most part, I see a guy trying his best to do his best sumo at the top of his game. Now the question is whether or not the top of that game is enough for him to hang out up at Maegashira 5. I don't see Chiyo Shoma hanging up in the Joy, but who knows, he might. Let's see which way we're going. Next, Daisho. Daisho, of course, we are approaching the 1-year anniversary of his brilliant surprise Yusho, just coming out of nowhere to take a Yusho. And since then, he's had an up and down sort of year. Double-digit wins, double-digit losses, but always sort of staying in the Joy. Is he just going to have another year of that? Or is he going to make a statement? I belong here up in the upper Joy. I belong here up at Komasubi. And by the way, that Yusho was not a fluke. And our final which way we going, Shodai. We are coming up on the 1-year anniversary of his last double-digit wins. Now, Shodai is an Ozeki, but he hasn't shown any of the Ozeki brand sumo that he showed the year before during the Ozeki run. We want to see that Shodai back. Now, he ended up getting 9 wins in the last tournament, and that's very positive. That's going in the right direction, but he's over 30. He has not looked very good against the current new crop of Joy Jin coming up, so Could this be the end for Shodai? I hope not, but we'll see which way we're going. Now we're getting to the nitty-gritty, the meats and the giblets of our predictions. I think that Takakeisho is going to get 11 wins. I think that because when he's healthy, that's what he tends to get in January, as I've noticed before, and I'm sure you have too. Takakeisho and his body type tend to do well in the colder months. So right now, he seems to be a little bit more comfortable in his body, and if he's healthy, I see him easily getting double-digit wins, but I don't see him pulling off the Yusho. The bolder side of this, I see Mitakeumi getting 11 wins. Now, Mitakeumi getting 11 wins is a little bit more rare, but I see Mitakeumi sort of extending this Ozeki run. I don't think he's going to put a big exclamation point. Like I mentioned before, if he gets 13 wins here, he'll be 1 win ahead of where Shodai was when he was made Ozeki. But no, I don't see that as sort of Mitakeumi style. If Mitakeumi gets Ozeki this year, I see it happening sort of in the Asanoyama way, where Asanoyama sort of worked his way up into the Sanyaku, and then just kept getting 10 wins until they're like, alright, you can stay up here and not embarrass yourself. Now, if either of these guys are going to have a chance at the Yusho, you're going to have to see him be like 9-1 on day 10, because I just don't see them having dominant last 5 days. Especially Mitakeumi. Their history does not give me a lot of confidence that they're going to finish hugely strong in the second week. And so it's time for the Yusho pick, Terunofuji. I know that's not necessarily a bold pick. He's clearly the best wrestler, but it is very bold considering it's January. January since 2016 has been a first-time winner, but I say no, Terunofuji is so dominant he is going to break the streak and get his 7th Yusho. Now the bolder prediction, I'm going to call it, he's going to win with a 14-1 record and get it on day 14. That's right, he's going to clinch it a day early. Bold. Thank you for coming back to the Dohyo. We have an amazing year of content just waiting for you, so we hope you all subscribe, share, tell all of your friends, unless you really hate the channel, and then my name is Chrisumo. But there will be quick strikes during the Basho, more Shadow of Hakuho coming up, my personal reaction to Hakuho's retirement. You're not going to want to miss that. So everyone, especially now, stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy, and I will see you next time on the Dohyo.